He grew up chasing speed across the ice, dreaming not of red carpets or flashing cameras, but of a life in hockey. On frozen rinks in Toronto, this boy became known as a lightning-fast goaltender, earning himself the nickname The Wall. His dream was clear. The NHL, fame if it came, would be for blocking slap shots, not starring in movies. But fate had other plans.
Twist, twist, twist of fate radio.
Born in Beirut and raised between continents, his childhood was anything but steady. He bounced from place to place, country to country, school to school. Dyslexia made the classroom a daily battle, and by the time most kids his age were worrying about prom, he was already piecing together a different future. The NHL door began to close. Injuries, combined with a lack of stability, dimmed his dream of becoming a professional athlete. Still, he had a restless energy that needed an outlet. So he turned to the stage. Theater classes lit a spark that no textbook ever had. He discovered that on stage, he wasn't defined by the words he struggled to read. He could breathe life into characters, creating worlds with his voice and presence. By 15, he had caught the acting bug for good. When he left high school, diploma unfinished, many would have written him off. But this young man didn't waste time dwelling on what he lacked. He went looking for what he could become. He hitchhiked across North America, sleeping where he could, taking odd jobs, never too proud to work with his hands. That scrappy determination would later become a quiet trademark. Then came a motorcycle, a gift, an escape, and eventually a symbol. It wasn't just transportation. It was freedom, independence, and risk. He crashed more times than he cared to count, but he kept riding. The thrill of danger, the hum of the engine, became metaphors for how he approached life. Fast, unpredictable, and unwilling to be tamed. But behind the speed, there was stillness. He carried tragedy early in life, losing friends, partners, and family members to illness and accidents. While others might have grown bitter, he carried a strange grace. His colleagues noticed it. He didn't chase the spotlight. He didn't buy the mansion on the hill. He sat quietly on park benches, read paperbacks, and rode the subway like any other commuter. In a world where celebrity often meant arrogance, he was disarmingly ordinary. His career started small. TV roles, low-budget films, commercials. Nothing suggested that he would ever be more than another working actor in Hollywood. But then, the right role came along. First, a comedy about two goofy teenagers traveling through time. Then, a 1990s thriller about surfing bank robbers that made audiences see him in a new light. Each role chipped away at the doubt, showing that he could carry a film, that his quiet intensity translated to the big screen. And then came the role, a role that blurred the line between man and myth, reality and simulation. Overnight, he wasn't just an actor. He was a cultural phenomenon. The man who once wanted to play goalie was now leading humanity in a war against machines. Black trench coat, dark glasses, bullet-time moves. He became a cinematic icon. But here's the twist. Even with all of Hollywood at his feet, he never stopped being the Wall. Not the hockey goalie anymore, but the wall against cynicism, the wall against arrogance, the wall against giving up when life hit hard. He used his fame not to build an empire, but to fund cancer research, support crew members on film sets, and quietly give away much of his earnings. From frozen rinks in Toronto to blockbuster movie sets, his story is one of resilience, humility, and quiet greatness. And the name of this unlikely hockey player turned global star? Keanu Reeves. This has been Twist of Fate Radio. I'm Angela Clark. Until next time, remember, sometimes the smallest choices lead to the biggest consequences. Want to explore more stories like this? Visit twistoffateradio.com. There you can read more details about this story and others like it. Plus, you can submit your own Twist of Fate story to be considered for a future episode. You never know what twist of fate is coming next.